Who else? Amrita, namaskaru. Hi, Namita. All on mute, but I'm sure they can hear me. Hi, Amrita Ulmanma Pachi.
One of my classmates has joined, Sanjay Mahatre. He's in Mumbai.
Acha, okay. Samir sorry, yes, continue, Gautam.
And my daughter, who is also here in New York, Navika, she's joined.
Areva, so sweet. Hi, Navika.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. My daughter's name sort of rhymes with yours. Her name is Malvika.
Oh, cool. Is she here today too?
She's just gone out. She's 11, so probably a few years later she might join in. And my niece lives in Dallas. Her name is Anika, so a lot of rhymes there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my brother-in-law is Sumit. Sumit, he is in Dallas, so they live there. Priyanka is my sister is also joining in. I think that's great. Okay. And so we'll probably Rajamam we'll wait for some time. Right?
Yeah, we generally wait at least 2 minutes. Today maybe we should wait another couple of minutes more, 5 minutes. Yeah. Sure.
Oh, Sanjay joins us. Hi, Sanjay.
Hi. Thanks, nice Gautam, for inviting me to this session. And yeah, it was a last moment addition for me. Hi, Navika. I have seen you as a tiny tot at Shoppers Stop many years back. Yeah.
Sanjay Matre is my classmate since KG up to 10th, and he's an artist, architect, and a teacher himself.
Oh wow!
Oh, that's awesome. That's amazing.
Thanks.
Hi, Anil Biswal Mom, namaskaram to you as well, and that's your son. Hi, I can see you now. Great.
Mayur, could you just give me a little idea of how long the session would last?
It's going to start at 6:05 or 6:06. It
fine.
Should be going up to an hour and a half.
Okay, sure.
But we're keeping it open-ended in the sense that there are a lot of people. So, in fact, I have to ask the question to you guys: how long will the session last? If you know what I mean, right? We're going to do it together. So it'll be like an hour and a half, and then if somebody wants to say that to be more effective in an interview, you should sing a song to the interviewer, then we can even explore that possibility. I'm just kidding.
Right. Yeah.
There are so many things we'll explore, but the objective answer is an hour and a half.
The reason why I asked you was I did not know about this session. Gautam has just posted, and thanks really once again, Gautam, for that. I have a parallel session going on, which is my introduction, which I have recorded. So okay. I might be slightly distracted just to manage it.
No worries.
Once in a while, yeah. So
no worries. Thanks. You can always go and come back and
thanks.
Absolutely. Suresh Kilpadi Mom, namaskaru. How Mayuru? These are some of my uncles and all are joining in. They just want to see what is he really doing in life. They want to see interviewing skills. Mayur Kalbag, first time in action. So I'm excited as well to see some of them looking at me with that positive intent, So like I had a Pachi who said to me, Kal kart tu poda yaar. I'm link arya main karta. Hi Lalita, nice to see you.
Hi, nice to see you too.
I know. Nice of you to have taken time to join in.
Oh, I was looking forward to it.
Me too. Yes. Hi, Sujata Pachi, hi. We are just constructively utilizing this time to say hello, hi, and all, because we have that little bit of leeway. So, hi, Samrita, nice to see you as well. I see Usha Pachi as well. So, nice to see Usha Pachi, Usha Surkun Pachi. Hi, Shekhar Mom, Shekhar Bellary Mom. Thanks for joining in.
Hi, Mayur.
Hey, hi, Rusbe. How are you, dude?
Good, sir, good.
My God. The days, what, 10, 15 years back? How many years back was it?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Godrej
so glad
boys.
To see you after so long, yeah, Mayur.
Thank you. It takes Chitrapur Saraswat network to get us to connect like this. Otherwise, we are on WhatsApp just saying, this is better.
Yes, 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 yes.
So enjoy the session. Do ask some questions like you used to in our trainings.
Sure.
Mayur, please tell me whenever you're ready, you feel we should start. Okay.
Okay. Okay. I can see 56 participants, which is which makes me quite motivated to tell you that we could start. I think.
Okay. So I'll start with the Pratana. Dakshinasya Samarambha Shankaracharya Madhyama Asmadacharya Paryanta Smarya Guru Parampara Shruti Snuti Purananam Alayan Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Vande Bhagavanto Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Beda Vibhagine Vyomavadyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Parijnanashrama Shri Guru Shankara Parijnanashrama Shankara
Sadguru
Keshavamana Krishna Panduranga Ananda Parijnana Guru Sadyo Jata Shankara Sadguru Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvina Vaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahe Om Shanti Shanti.
Shanti.
Yeah. Okay, friends, a lot of participation. It's wonderful to see so many people gathered here. My name is Rajiv Kalyanpur, and on behalf of Kanara Saraswat Association and Chitrapur Saraswat Network, I'm very happy to welcome all of you to this event. It's a really topical issue that Samir has chosen to talk on, and that and his own personal reputation and popularity has drawn in a lot of people today of wide age group range, and I'm really glad to see that. I think it's partly because of the topic, though we think that interviews are something that one undergoes only when you want a job. That's not really so. Yeah, yes, you do undergo that when you want a job. But you undergo a sort of interview when you're wooing someone and you want her to marry you, choose you among hundreds of others. That's an interview, right? And later on, when you're successful in your career and the job placement guys, the headhunter guys come to you and try to woo you to join some other industry, that's when the employer is undergoing an interview. Or even if you're in business and services, when you're trying to pitch your product to somebody, it's a kind of interview that you undergo. Right? So all of us, almost every day, undergo some kind of interview or the other. Or even if you're doing some social work, you have to pitch your concept and your ideas to your members of your task force and get them to do things your way. That's another interview. So all of us are going to learn a lot from today's session. I know how effective Mayur is. So I can promise all of you, this is time well spent, well invested, I would say. So having said that, give me just a couple of minutes. I'll quickly introduce you all to what Chitrapur Saraswat Network is trying to do, okay? Now, we Saraswats, and I explain this because I see there are others also, we are a very small community, barely 25,000 strong across the world. And by nature, we are very, should I say, self-effacing, reticent, and we are not known so far to be entrepreneurs, though that is really changing at the grassroots. So the job of Chitrapur Saraswat Network, as we see it, is to bring about a cultural change where people start talking about what they are doing, reaching out to each other to help each one grow in his or her personal sphere, and over the long run, encourage more and more people to get into entrepreneurship and to do well there. I'll just tell you briefly about a couple of points which I think are the more important ones. We have a website on our site, which is www.kanarasaraswat.com/CSN. And on that, we are hosting a database of all Chitrapur Saraswats who are into any kind of business or service working independently. So I would encourage each and every one of you to not only register yourselves, but reach out to friends of yours who have not registered and tell them to register themselves, because very soon, based on this database, we are going to be publishing yellow pages and sharing it in all social media. So that will help you get an outreach within the community. Now, other than that, we also have interaction groups which are on Telegram, and all entrepreneurs, as we get to know about them, are added to the Telegram group. And within the Telegram groups, we announce regular interaction functions where the entrepreneurs come in, get to know each other, and build up a certain kind of comfort level and rapport, which is very essential if you want to work with somebody on the business front. So briefly, I won't spend too much time because this is Mayur's day actually. Briefly, this is what CSN is doing, and I would invite you and request you to all of you all to visit the website and learn more about us, and please do actively participate in everything that we are trying to do. That would be a great motivator for us. Now, with that, I would request my friend and also Mayur Kalbag Mam's friend, much more Mayur Kalbag Mam's friend, to step in and do the introductions. Samir, can you step in, please?
Yeah, hi, Rajiv Ma'am. Thanks for a wonderful understanding of CSN that you gave. I think it will go a long way in creating a network, a successful business network amongst startups. Coming to Mayur's introduction, actually, it's really an honor and as well as a pleasure to introduce Mayur to this August gathering, because we have been very good friends right from childhood. And we have actually seen each other grow. Especially, I have seen Mayur transform from being a very quiet kind of a person to the person that he is today. After, I think the real transformation came, as he keeps saying and giving credit, that it happened after his close connection with H.H. Swami Sadiraj Shankarashram. And I totally agree with whatever he says, because I think I have seen him change over the years and transform and really evolve into the great, he's one of the top international trainers and leadership coaches today. And he has more than 20 years of experience in this field, which is including leadership training, innovation, communication, management skills development, and so on and so forth. I mean, the real caliber of his, abilities is shown by the kind of clients that he's worked on and he's working with. So on his profile, he has top corporates like Tata Motors, Force Motors, Sandoz, Novartis, Infosys, Crompton Greaves, DHL, Godrej Boys, and I'm sure there are many more, but you can't really include everything in a short introduction. He has also been visiting Fiji Islands to conduct leadership, programs, and he's working there with FMF Foods, Motibai Group, Tapus, CJ Patel Group, and FNPF. Now, I might have, pronounced some names wrongly, so pardon me for that. He's also a regular columnist for Fiji Sun newspaper, and that too for last 5 years. And he writes some topic related to personality development, communication, and self-excellence. Along with that, there is another side of Mayur as well. He's very good at tabla, and I think most of us would know that his latest book, Adventures of Purna, which is latest published book, I should say, Adventures of Purna is a #1 bestseller on Amazon. But I corrected myself because there are 2 more books in the offing, and they are in the pipeline, which is Aghori, An Untold Story, and The Crazy Trainer. I was coming to that, yes, actually that's the right, the accurate word to describe Mayur. and I think amazing person. So, we keep giving examples of, whether a player can be a good coach, etc. My experience is that a cricket player or any other player might have been, just maybe average, but he goes on to become a great coach or a great trainer. Okay. And that is where I want to make a point here, that even if we have not maybe attended too many interviews, but if you have guided so many more people to do successful at interviews, I think that is a bigger feather on the cap, because there are so many feathers that you have everybody vouching for you that they have trained you well enough to do well. And that is where I think Mayur is the right kind of person to, and his insights will add value to all of us in being successful at interviews. I hope I have not gone overboard with my time, but when it comes to Mayur, I mean, we go a long way back, and I present Mayur Kalbag to this audience. Thanks a lot, Mayur, for being here and helping us out. It really means a lot. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Just before Mayur starts, on his behalf, I request all the audience to keep your mics on mute, but keep your videos on with your actual videos, not your profile pictures, so that Mayur gets some kind of visual feedback. And whenever you all want to ask a question, I'm sure Mayur will announce when you all can, and that's when you unmute yourself or put up your hands and in sequence start asking questions. Okay, thanks for everyone in advance, and Mayur, please.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. I think I'm heard quite clearly. Rajiv Mam, just checking before I start.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Shri Bhavani Shankaraya Namaha. Remembering our Guru and our Lord Bhavani Shankar, I would like to start this particular session. And thank you so much, Samir, for providing such a very, very naturally interesting introduction. Even I was wondering, who's this person that Samir is talking about? But you spoke from your heart. I love the way you introduced me. I should have you for a lot of my sessions. And I mean that from my heart. Rajiv Mam, as you represent, along with Rajan Mam, the others who are there, part of Chitrapur Saraswat Network, I thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, for feeling that I could share some things. So thank you so much from my heart. And it's an organization that is doing this as a seva for the professionals. So I feel very proud to be part of it as well. I see a lot of I see 84 people who have, who are there in this session, and I'm extremely excited to say. I want to say hello to all of you. I can see Tejas and Sanjay Mam and Shashin from United States. So nice to see you. Sharmila, Simrita, Lalita Pachi. And then there's another screen there. And there are some more screens there. So to all of you, I say thank you so much for investing your time. I want to start this session because introduction is done. Suresh Mam, you want to say something? You can't hear me? Rajiv Mam, can you hear me?
Mayur, it could have been better, but yes, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, because
now it's much better.
Okay. I'm really sorry because this is the Wi-Fi, the router, and all. Very new normal happening here. I just hope that the lights are not off, because then there's an inverter issue. But as of now, I think I'm heard. Rajivam, if I feel, thanks Gautam, please give me a feedback quickly, because this is a session where I might be under the impression that everybody's listening in 10 minutes. So if you feel you can't hear me, just let me know, any one of you, especially Rajivam. This session is titled how to become, or ways to become more successful at interviews. As I start this session, I want to say that my role in this particular session is not that where I come in and I deliver a lecture and give you a lot of gyan, which will accumulate and you'll say, wow. That is not the real purpose. If that happens on the side, it's okay. I believe that the best car needs to be maintained. The best shoe needs to be polished. You get the best dress, after some time you need to iron it. I think that this session should be focused by all of us in ways by which you can refresh your existing knowledge about how to be better at interviews. Even if you are already good, maybe if there's something new that comes in, take it and maybe share it with somebody. Like I had a elderly gentleman who said to me that, Mayur, I personally don't really, like he's in his mid 60s. He said, I'm not going to make use of this, but definitely I have a couple of my grandsons and one of them is going to graduate, out of college. So I'm sure I can share some points with him. So perceive this session as a way by which you can pick up at least 4 or 5 good points that are practical, that are developmental, and that really you are convinced that can help you or the people that you're connected with to be more effective at interviews. As far as the methodology is concerned, yes, it is called interactive, but I would say that I have sort of bifurcated it, viewers. See, I'm not here to just make you, do something with 10 minutes of time. That is okay if it's a workshop. There are more than 85 people here. So what I want to do is, as I'm speaking to you, please interact with yourself. If you have any query, if you have a suggestion, if you have an addition, if you have a question, if you have a doubt, please, if you can, note it down. I'm hoping, I'm assuming that you may have a pen and pad nearby, just if you can, because this session will be effective if you can also pour in with your thoughts. Now, you may ask the question towards the end. That's what I thought is, I'll speak for maybe 45 minutes, as much as I have my points ready for all of you. After that, if you want to, when you've noted a few things, you can feel free to come in and ask. I want it that way, if that's okay with you. Another thing is, apart from questions, the typical trainer's thing is about takeaways. The question you should ask here is, am I really going to be able to take away, and how much? So like I earlier said, 5 or 6 things or 4 or 5 things you have to take away. Otherwise, this session is a failure for me. Because if it is all good, a lot of nice discussions, excellent, points, but nothing that is practical, nothing that is implementable, then this session really is not productive. So let's try our best to make this session effective with respect to takeaways. And how do we take away? So am I going to give you the points which you take away? No, and you know that the typical word which we normally don't use in practice is spoon feeding. Today, even a child doesn't like to be spoon fed. So we are professionals, we are students. Let's take away. And one of the ways I always say is with a question, like how do we do this session by which you will take away? And that question is, does cow give milk? And I put this question to all my friends when I interact with them. It's a question that rhetorically put to you is, you can ask yourself is, does a cow give milk? And I'm taking a pause of say around 4 or 5 seconds for you to think. And I'm sure you must be wondering that if this is such a session going on, how is Mayur asking such an overly simplistic question, does cow give milk? But if I reposition this question, you might get the answer. And that answer actually is in the way the session will go forward. So initially I asked you, does cow give milk? But if I say the same question again by saying, does cow give the milk? Have you ever seen a cow giving milk?
We have to milk it.
Exactly. And I guess that the feeling of, when you extract something from maybe a conversation or an interview, or even from a casual interaction, if you extract something which is good for you, you feel a sense of excitement. I look forward to doing the same thing when I converse with you. I humbly request all of you to keep extracting, because a cow never gives milk. Of course, I'm not a cow or a bull. It's a pleasant metaphor. So from whatever interactions happen, if you're able to extract something yourself, you won't even need to note it down. As Hindi में कहते हैं, वो अंदर घुस जाएगा, because आपने वो प्रयत्न किया है to take it out. Now, coming back to the subject, ways to become more successful at interviews. Now, I don't like to, pardon me, friends, even in my trainings for the last 20 years, I have not used PowerPoint slides. I rather give charts to the participants and they do the slides. Because sometimes the use of slides can make me slide away. And I'm not using a dialogue, it happens. Too many slides, my eyes become a little heavy. So I have not prepared slides, but I have spent more time in preparing some placards, okay, which I've actually done because I enjoy that. And of course, it's the points that I want to share are on these placards. So let me start by giving you the theme of this particular session. And that theme is in one word. And that is this, if you can see. Can you see it? I think some of you can. Rajimam, you can see it now. Just put a thumbs up or something so I know. All right. I call it the impact. Because anything that we do, why only interviews? Anything that we do, what is expected, I believe for myself, is create an impact, whether it's through my words or through my actions. Somebody comes and says, hey, you know what? I've seen a product that you made. Can I see it? You show him the product. The product is excellent. He's impacted. He or she then decides whether to buy or not. He's impressed. He's convinced. Similarly, I feel, friends, in any interview, and please understand, when I share this, it's what I have thought about through my interactions, what I've learned and gained. I may be wrong or right. Like I said, you extract and make the best of it. But I've always felt that when I am in front of an interviewer or a panel of interviewers, it's not about convincing them. Of course, that is there. Most important, I feel, is have I prepared myself? Have I been solid enough to create a positive, a lasting impact upon the minds of the interviewers or the interviewer? Because we know that the decision to choose doesn't happen immediately. The people take time. They have to probably meet another 100 people before they decide who to choose. So among the 100, how do I get chosen? I would say I have to try the best to create the strongest positive impact, which means not just an impression. They say impressions last for a good time, but impact lasts for a longer time. And this session is about how to be successful in interviews by creating a strong impact. And I have these placards which will take us through. Okay, so I'm going to be very swift in this because then we'll have our question answers. When you see this, PACT. I have purposely put it this way. You know, the reason is why? Is because I've tried to make impact into a pact between us, in the sense that let's have an agreement that through this interview, through this session, I'm calling it an interview, through this session, I want us to actually take away these 4 aspects. So we have a pact about the pact. I know, sounding like a dialogue, but let me clarify. From this particular session, I want to share with you 4 important aspects that can add value to your existing knowledge about how to become more effective in interviews. And these 4 attributes or aspects or features are in the form of an acronym, which is PACT. P-A-C-T. Now, you know, as a trainer, one thing I was taught when I was apprenticing with somebody is that when you put acronyms, it's easy to remember. Remember in school also, during exams, we used to make acronyms to the side of the textbook. I used to do a lot. I still didn't earn a lot of marks, but today it's helping me in making short forms. So if after the session, if you just remember PACT, that our PACT is successful. So what is this PACT? Let me elaborate. And as I'm doing that, let me just switch to the other screen so that I can see them as well. And please, if you can, Mihir, Mahesh Mam, Gopinath Mam, Ravindra, Santosh, Sunil, Ramdas Mam, Dr. Menon, everybody, Radhika, Sandeep Kulkarni is with us, great. And Uday, please, can I see you? Because I can only see your names. Naveen, that'll be nice to see all of you. I can, you know, it's this, keeping the video on is not necessarily only for the first screen, huh? It is for everybody, please. And I'll keep moving because I did one session earlier in last year without anybody in front of me, and my session was a fiasco because I couldn't talk to a blank screen. So please motivate me and let me see you. All of you look very nice. Mihir Kalyanpur looks deadly. Mihir, all right. So let me straight away introduce to you the PACT, P-A-C-T. At the Hadakenapuda, I'm speaking a little Konkani. Hadakenapuda, you will say, Are Hama Guttasra. I know this, Baba. But that's exactly where I come. I remind you of that earlier point. Refresher course for us. Polishing. Okay. But if it's something new, then also absorb. So the first, you know, when we talk about the P of the PACT, it's not just one P. It's not just the P alphabet. There are 3 or 4 important features or words that emanate out of the P. The first one being, the first one is, if you can see, it's, let me just go to my slide and see if I can see it myself, is preparation. Why is preparation so important? Is because a lot of people say, Mayur, I don't know, man, when I am in front of the interviewer, sometimes I do feel a little nervous, all right? And it depends. There are some people who are my age group, right? 45, 48. They don't feel that nervous because they have experienced interviews before. And yet, when they sit in front of the interviewer, maybe not 10 sparrows or 10 butterflies, maybe one butterfly starts fluttering around in the stomach. Preparation is very important. And I want to elaborate very quickly on preparation. In fact, I want you to think as well, how aligned is the word preparation to being successful at interviews? What comes to your mind when somebody says you need to prepare? Well, I have few more points, but I want you to think in your mind and make your own points. When there's an interview for maybe a position in an IT organization or maybe a financial organization or a bank, what do you prepare about? Well, I would say, to start with, why should you prepare? Because preparation enhances self-confidence. Because preparation is all about knowledge. It's about getting to know. It's about studying or exploring something. So what do you prepare? Very simplistically put, the 10 questions typically that are asked in an interview. And I'm not going to go into all the 10. Google will give you the 10, believe you me. But I learned from one lovely Amchi mom when I was speaking to. His name is Prabodh Shirur Mam. And I was talking to him. He's a very senior HR person. And I said, can you tell me something which can help me to enhance this session that I'm doing? And he said, you know what, Mayur, there's one thing you can talk about, which is preparing for questions. And one question that typically is asked, whatever level that you are, is tell me something about yourself. And what he also said was something interesting. He said that you should write it down. And he said, I wrote it down 10 times. And every time I wrote something different about myself. So imagine that when you're in front of an interviewer and you really want to say something, will you be able to? So along with preparation about practicing, or rather getting to know the question, you should also write down the answer to that question. Now, this is, like I said myself, very oversimplistic. Like some of you say, I know this question, but have we practiced it? So after preparation about this question, and there are other aspects I'll get into, also start practicing. Some people practice by standing in front of a mirror. I want to introduce to you something very, very interesting, which is called mock interviews. Mock interviews help you to get a very realistic experience of a real-time interview. Now, how would you do this? Ask somebody in your family or your friends, somebody who's close to you. Now, this is all in the context of an interview that you are supposedly going for. If it's a general thing, like, Mayur, tell me something more, then it's okay. But if you really are forcing yourself in an interview, it is important for you to prepare questions. One of them being, tell me something about yourself. There are other questions, maybe you can also think about it. Like I said, it's available on internet. But when you have prepared, it is important to also stand or sit and present it to somebody who is going to pretend like an interviewer. All right. There are some aspects in this which I want to also highlight, which are related to, I call it the tips or the tricks. When you are, quite confidently answering this question, suddenly a question comes that is unexpected. It happens. We may have prepared for 10 questions, but another question, which could be an 8th one, suddenly comes as a second one. How do you deal with that? Now, I want to say this to you. When I'm asked a question to which at that point of time, I do not know the answer. Remember, at that point of time, I do not know the answer. There is something called the art of buying time. Now, please understand, from where I come, this is for you to just practice. Maybe mock interviews will help you. Because the last thing that I was taught is never to say, I don't know. So do I bluff? Never bluff in an interview. You'll be caught. I was caught. So exaggeration and bluffing doesn't work. I'm talking about many years ago. Because in the pursuit of impressing the interviewer, sometimes we say some things just to impress, but not realizing that we don't know much about it. So if I don't know something, at that point of time, the first thing I would say is not I don't know. You play a trick. You buy time. And you do that by rebouncing the question with another question to the interviewer in a very innocent, with an innocent expression. You simply say, sir, could you please elaborate? Now, to some questions like, Mayur, tell me, what is 1 + 1? You can't say, sir, could you elaborate? Then he will send you for an elaboration outside the room, interview room. So this is subjective. And remember, this is in the context of when you want to buy some time. Don't suddenly get nervous. And I'm not telling you, I'm telling myself. Because, somebody asked me, Mayur, how many interviews have you attended, Baba? I said, 20 years I've been attending interviews, because every time I need to meet somebody to get a training program, I get interviewed by the HR. One of my first HR interview, somebody asked me, Mr. Kalbag, tell me what could be the real difference I can see through your training in the people that you will train. And I said, yeah, please feel free to open. And I couldn't. I lost that training because I had not taken, I didn't know. I got nervous. At the same time, if I had probably said, sir, can you just elaborate a little more? Exactly what is it that you want me to share? The time that the interviewer takes to re-articulate his question. Because when you say, could you please elaborate? He cannot say, I know what you're doing. You're buying time, huh? Well, how can he prove that? Because you actually need the time. Now you may say, why is Mayur elaborating so much on this? Because sometimes small little pitfalls like this can affect the next series of questions. Sir, actually, I don't know this. Okay, no worries. Let's go to the next question. See, Mayur, but you're still thinking about that. Oh shit, I didn't answer that. So the hangover of the earlier question is still there. And I'm not talking about each one of you, friends. I'm talking about many of us. And like I said, this session is for each one, how you take it, right? So please use this word, could you please elaborate? Okay, he's elaborated. After that, he reconstructs and puts the question a different way. Then what do? Could you again elaborate? Don't do that. There's a graceful way of accepting defeat. You can always say, never use this word, I don't know. It's too obvious. I don't know. I'm very honest, sir. I don't know. No, don't do that, sir. Don't do that, madam. Always say, can I come back to you later? Or at this point of time, I may be unable to respond to your question. It's like when, you go to an airline counter and you ask something which they can't give you. Mr. Kalbag, at this point of time, we will be unable to give you. They tell you so beautifully, you just say, no worries. The point is, you don't have to be so nice. Yeah, I tried, it doesn't work, but you can be very formal and gracious enough to say, at this point of time, I may be unable to respond, because remember, today's interviews are not where it's an authoritative interview. Remember that, because they need you as well. So it's a discussion, an interview that evolves into a conversation, and a conversation is two-way. It's not like this, I am interviewer, okay? No, it doesn't work, because he needs you as well, and you're good. So he will say, let's come here. So certain initial things, tell me something about yourself. Okay, all right, and then you come here. So this is one aspect I wanted to share about how you can deal with tough questions. Okay, now there's another thing. This is for people who want to express a disagreement. Why not? There are many people amongst us who, you can't, why would we just say yes to everything just because it's an interview? Tell me, Mayur, have you seen I believe the ship can fly. What do you think? Tell me. Yes, sir, you're right, sir. I need a job, sir. Absolutely. Another 100 years later, it will. Actually, it's important to learn how to position a disagreement. There's nothing wrong with a disagreement. So when something comes to you, which you feel, sometimes they'll ask you, what do you think? Do you think our economy is going to go straight away to another 15%? So don't say no. Never say no. Never say, I disagree with you. Sir, I want to say that I don't agree with you. Please, sir, don't mind. Don't say that. Because we are human beings. Ego hai, ego, baba, ego. Sometimes you smile. I have no ego. Andar bahut bada hai. One small little, sir, I don't agree. Acha, you don't agree. No worries. I have good, humble person. I won't see you again. It's better to use a different way. It is called diplomacy. Diplomacy is the art of positioning a negative statement in a very positive manner. So when you want to offer a disagreement, what do you say is, which I'm practicing as well, hopefully not facing too many situations like that, is, sir, I understand what you're saying. This is a sentence I have also, mugged up, but you put it like this: sir, I understand what you're saying, but I have a slightly different point of view. The key set of words are slightly. This is for the massage of the ego. Slightly different point of view. There are some who don't say that. They don't say I disagree. I beg to. They say I beg to differ. They say I beg to differ. But why do you want to beg? No begging. You say that I understand what you're saying, sir. Can I offer you a slightly different point of view? I'm just seeing a message from somebody. Rajimam, is that for me? Let me check.
Mayur, carry on.
Yeah, okay. Sorry. I just am over sort of alert to this. So continuing, when you feel you need to not agree with something, then do that, because today's interviewers respect your point of view. And this is because I have been interacting with a lot of HR people, remember. And the backdrop of this is I've had people who say that, Mayur, I don't like people who just yes, yeah. At the end of the day, I know that they don't agree to what I say, but they will never have the courage to disagree. But don't say those words. Are a couple of things I want to share with you. I hope you picked up a few points from this. Mock interviews as a way of practicing. Trying to avoid saying, I don't know, will help. Buying time by saying, could you elaborate? Wherever it works. For objective questions, it may not. Is this blue or red? Could you elaborate? Won't work. But typically in discussions, in interviews, maybe you need time to construct your thoughts. For people at levels of managers, directors, this is very, very vital. This is what we talked about. I also want to talk about this part. It's a very, very important part. Presentation. Presentation is very important. Let me elaborate on that. All right. The interesting part of doing this session from home is the wonderful, pleasant distraction. So I just have my little baby Aura, doggy cutie, who's just come, and I need to take care of her as well. But can I continue with presentations? This is also what happens, how to maintain the flow. Thank you. Careful. Oh, all right. You can just walk by quickly. I sing a song for that. I do that. If something happens on my side, I sing a song at the end. By that, at the end, everybody walks away as well after the song. Where was I? What was I talking about, Raji Ma'am? Gautam, anyone? In real trainings, in real times, I do this also to check if we're all together at the same, sort of alignment. So when we say
presentation.
Yes. So when we say that we need to be effective at interviews, good preparation about tell me something about myself or yourself, about the company, about my strengths, about where I see myself, etc. All that is great. How do I put that across? Now, many of you look at this as a refresher, as a polishing, because I know you know this. It's like, I know, but still allow me. For a lot of youngsters who are watching across India and abroad, these could be additions, value additions. The first thing I always say is your appearance matters a lot. The grooming matters a lot. Even before this session, I groomed myself a little bit because I like to have a little bit of a beard. But beards are a risk because I like to look a little older than my age. So did I say that correctly? I don't know. But anyways, the point I'm making is what I wear is also important in terms of the appearance. The words, the verbal modulations will come. I'll talk about it. But your clothes matter. Now you may say, Mayur, can you tell us more? I won't. I can only say one thing. Avoid colors which are gaudy. Orange, red, because you don't want the interviewer to look at a nice color, man. Interesting. Kahan se liya? Just kidding. It has to be pleasant to the eyes. Light blue, cream, something that doesn't overdo your appearance. Okay. Now I want to talk about something more important. Your body language. Now you may say, Mayur, does this really matter? It matters a lot. There are two languages. The language in which you communicate, your English language or Hindi, Marathi, and the body language. In fact, body language communicates far more many times than what you speak. So what kind of body language? Quickly, let me talk about it. I'll actually demonstrate. When you're sitting in front of an interviewer, the spinal cord should be erect. Avoid crouching your back. Sometimes we are so excited that the interview is going so well, we're like, sometimes like this. Now, this may happen subconsciously. One more thing, when you are in front of the interviewer, avoid too much of hand motions, because many of us have been told, body language acha hai, hand movements, avoid too much. It should be pleasant. For example, I'll tell you. Suppose you want to assert on something. So Mayur, you applied for this job. How do you plan to create a positive impact in the role that you're playing as a marketing manager? Sir, I believe that with my experience, I will be sure of enhancing the profitability by at least 15%. Rather than saying this just like that, how about if you say, sir, I would like to say to you that I will be definitely trying my best to enhance the profitability by 15%. This movement of the hand, as long as you don't take it close to the interviewer, it'll be intimidating. But if you move this, it adds more assertiveness. There are three things we should look at: passivity, aggression, assertiveness. Assertiveness is what body language can be used for. You assert the fact. Now, it's not that you talk about, whenever you speak to the interviewer, every time your hand keeps moving, because after that, somebody will bring kaddu, vegetables, ye bhi cut kar lo. You can't keep moving. You can't be doing all this. Then you'll be a rapper. No, it should be only when you want to highlight on something. Have you seen in a report where every word is underlined? Come on, it can't be, isn't it? There are some words which are highlighted or underlined. Similarly, when you want to really present your thoughts in the most impactful manner, use it's called the open hand hit. Okay, you open your hand and hit like this wherever you feel it is required to be. One more thing, avoid, and this may not happen much, but could happen, is one finger pointing. Sir, what I want to talk about is, so this point is, this pointing of finger should be avoided. Rather than one finger pointing, four finger pointing is better. This is a little cruder. It sort of looks a little aggressive, but this looks more assertive. It looks more, like together. I think that's a good point, sir. Can I just share something more? This movement is nice. Suppose you want to show levels. Now, remember, these are options to all of you, friends. It's not that you have to put everything straight away, but you want to say that in the first year, I want to really look at this, or in the first month, the second month, the third month. Now, you may say, what about Mr. Kalbag in the 50th month? What do I do? No, it can again come down. It's just the movement. All right. So it's just, I'm just, kidding. But please understand the spirit of my statement. Hand movements help you to actually speak with more emotions. They say words backed with emotions really make an impact, but emotions backed with body language will really be the icing on the cake. All right. So one is this open hand. I call it the open hand chop, or you can also do this or this levels. It helps. It also shows a lot of confidence, that you're confidently sharing something. See, people say that how to communicate confidence. Body language helps a lot. And I'm now going to talk about eye contact a little bit. This happens many times. I don't speak for everybody. It's my experience. When an interviewer is looking at you like this, in Hindi, I call that entity, no personal, Khadus interviewer. Tell me, sir. Tell me, yes. Now, if his wife has given him trouble, I'm not to be blamed, Baba. But his face is like that. I had a bad day, now you watch. Sometimes the expressions of the interviewer are so serious that they can intimidate me. They can make me nervous as well. They can put me in self-doubt. Sometimes that tone is such that it can make me, really feel, am I on the right track or not? It makes me self-doubt. I'm saying it once again. Now, this thing about the person being khadus for whatever reasons, that's in a very jovial way. But you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes the interviews are very friendly, they're very nice. But what if you come across one person who's not that way? Don't let it hurt you. Now, how do you, even if you feel intimidated, if you feel nervous, how do you not show it is by eye contact? Never look down when somebody's speaking to you. When you are talking to the interviewer, don't try to avoid eye contact. Yes, sir, I think that now I'm looking there. You are here. Now, sometimes it happens naturally because we are trying to recollect thoughts. So we're looking there. I think that, so, but if you keep looking there, you are not really showing your confidence because you're trying to avoid the eye contact. So my humble request is have an eye to the face eye contact. Some people ask me, is it eye to eye? Please don't do eye to eye because it will be intimidating to that person. It's eye to the face. In fact, when I do my sessions, I always try and say eye to the forehead. Okay. I now want to talk very quickly about verbal intonations. See, friends, you may say, Mayur, there are another 20 things about body language which I know. I know that you know, but we're just picking up few that you can start practicing. All right. Verbal modulations, there are 3 or 4 things I want you to, sort of think about and practice. The first is Muhammad Ali. The first is the boxer Muhammad Ali. Please don't write. It's a metaphor for something else. The second is the late, great Atal Bihari Vajpayee. So the first is Muhammad Ali. Before I go to the third one, what do you think Muhammad Ali represents, which connects to our verbal communication? Because here we are talking about ways to be successful at interviews. These are the catalysts that will help us to be successful. Muhammad Ali represents the boxer. Okay, aggression, all right. But again, remember that I'm talking about a boxer. So his aggression in an interview will be how? Now, I'm actually adjusting because I might just stand and start boxing and showing you a few, jabs. Obviously, this is not the physical hitting. Yes, I think Nandita Trikanard says confidence. Absolutely. This particular aspect of modulation is one of the most effective ways of showing your self-confidence. But the word is not only aggression. What is this called? Don't do this there, huh, Baba? Otherwise, I'll get a call from the interviewer. Kya sikhaya? But it is a metaphor. It's a word which is absolutely connected to the world of boxing, right? Or fighting. Gautam, anything that comes to your mind? Because your mic is mute.
Punch.
Absolutely. It's punch. It's the punch. So when I am explaining something to the interviewer, and if I really want to communicate with a very high level of self-confidence, so you cannot say, so Mayur, tell me, how do you think you can bring some difference in our department of sales? I'm just giving an example, all right, friends. Sir, I believe that I can really motivate our team. I have got tremendous motivation inside. It's filled. Sir, please come, sir. It's there inside, sir, please. Doesn't. So Mayur, are you very confident of delivering? Because we really believe your biodata is excellent. Yes, sir, it's very beautiful, sir. And I have tried. This happens many times, friends. Maybe I'm a little overdoing it because I'm excited. But this low tone communication happens. Like there are people who say that they've got tremendous confidence in the most low tone. I'm very confident, sir. Are you passionate? Sir, very much. Are you excited? Sir, a lot, sir. Why so many questions, sir? Friends, if you want to communicate your content, the preparation with confidence, the punch. Now, how do you punch when you speak? Not this way, right? It's how you increase the volume on a particular word which you think is important. Let me give an example, then you'll be able to relate. It's a proverb. It is nice to be important, but it is more important to be nice. So, Mr. Kalbag, can you please share a nice proverb with us? On that basis, we select you as the Vice President. Only one proverb, sir. Sir, it is nice to be important, but it is more important to be nice. Okay, sir. Now go and have vada pav. Okay, sir. Same. Proverb is so profound. Vada pav also is the same level. I mean, for people in America, Gautam, you know, vada pav is still our favorite Indian burger, sir. But if I speak in the way where vada pav sounds same as it is nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice, then what? So when I'm talking about something, I need to bring the energy, the excitement. So when I say this way, it is nice to be important, but it is more important to be nice. It is nice to be important, but it is more important to be nice. I can punch on the word that I want to, and the meaning changes. Management is the art of getting things done through the efforts of others. I'd mug this up for the MBA exam. Management is the art of getting things done through the efforts of others. Now, to all of you, just see how the interpretation changes as I punch on different words. Let me try. Management is the art of getting things done through the efforts of others. Management is the art of getting things done through the efforts of others. Management is the art of getting things done through the efforts of others. Management is the art of getting things done through the efforts of others. Management is the art of getting things done through the efforts of others. Management is the art of getting things done through the efforts of others. Management is the art of getting things done through the efforts of others. Management is the art of getting things done through the efforts of others. Are you understanding how you can very positively make your interviewer get to understand what you want the interview to understand? By simply punching. Remember, friends, confidence is great. Conviction is also very important. When you speak, you should sound convinced about what you speak. But if you say management is the art of getting things done, that doesn't come across as though you're very convinced. That's my humble request to all of you, is practice. Now, how do you practice this? Through proverbs. I did that, Baba. I used to go to the building terrace and practice this, because when you do trainings, you're getting interviewed in every training program. Remember that. You're getting selected for the next program based on how you perform in the first one or the present one. So to Navika, to Ashwin, everybody, and all the people on the screens, please extract this and see how it can actually add value to your verbal communication. That's the punch part. What is the pause? The pause is Atal Bihari Vajpayee pause, but don't pause so much. For a politician like him, his pause was beautifully long. If we pause that much, the person who's taking an interview will have a cup of coffee and that vada pav and come back. So we should pause sensibly. You know, why do we pause? Is to allow the time to the interviewer to understand what you're saying. At the same time, a pause gives you a poise. If you speak fast, you may only fumble. You, as in any one of us, will fumble. When you speak fast, you are putting strain on the interviewer to really grasp what you're saying, because the cow never gives milk. That interviewer is also trying to extract from what you're saying. So pause helps you with the time to think and speak. Plan in your mind for an extra second and speak. And when you do that, you sound also very confident. Management is the art of getting things done through the efforts of others. So in an interview, you say, well, let me share this proverb, sir. Management is the art. So it has to be between sentences. Management is the art of getting things done, sir, with the help of others. So this is what I wanted to share with you with respect to the punch part. I know there are other things I want to share, but I hope we are on the right track. I always believed that along with the P of okay, what have we talked about? We've talked about preparation. We've talked about presentation. Yes, thank you so much. In presentation, we've talked about body language. In body language, we've talked about open hand chop, the movement to show scaling up, scaling forward, not doing too much, and helping yourself to come across genuinely as confident. And we've also talked about eye contact, maintaining eye contact to the face, not looking here and there because it sort of sends a wrong signal, having that face to face to show confidence, not looking down, and verbal modulations, where we talked about two things: punch and pause. All right. There's one more which I don't really elaborate too much, is pitch. I talk about it for especially people who love cricket. So the right pitch will get you the right ball to be pitched. When you just, so in a sentence, I can say that try to mix the pitch. It shows your enthusiasm. Really, really low pitch. Sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa. So try to mix it up. Mayur, I believe you have a few things to share about your qualifications. Can you share? Yes, sir, very much. Yes, sir, sure. So what I want to share is, so I've done my bachelor's in commerce with honors. Achha, that means you're not happy, so I'm very happy. No. So pitching is where you go to the high pitch to sometimes show excitement. I'm very excited. I'm very excited. So punch and pitch are like cousins. In between, Vajpayee ji is there with respect to pause. But pause sensibly. These are a few things I wanted to share with respect to the P of the pact. Then comes the A. I call it the attitude of the archer. Why the attitude of the archer? Let me very quickly, and I won't take a lot of time. When I say that, I'll be concise. What comes to your mind when I say the word archer? What comes to your mind? Can you just feel free? I know there are a lot of people. Just feel free. When you see a person with a dhanush barn, you know, what do you see?
Concentration, aim.
Absolutely. Focus. Fantastic. Tanmay, Aditya, how are you, man? Aditya. Shashan, please say something. Just make me feel more encouraged. Fahad, nice to see you, Fahad. When you see an archer, apart from, you know, I'd like to start with one thing, and please correct me if I'm wrong. There's something called Japanese archery. Have you heard of it? Uska naam mujhe yaad nahi aa raha hai. There's Japanese archery. And it's like meditation, all right? Now, to all of you, remember that it seems it starts with your posture.
Posture, okay.
It starts with your posture. It starts with how you feel about yourself. It starts with the attitude that I will. I will as in connection with the target, I will. So I will have sort of brought a few aspects about archery, and it in fact talks about many points you brought out, okay? So it'll be more of an echo to what you said. I'm going to read it out. I know, pardon me, I don't like slides for people who join in a little later. I prefer to create it myself. So the first thing I feel for an interviewee, when you are in front of the interviewer, like an archer, the first thing is the passion, or being passionate about winning. Because remember, after the posture, when you actually leave the, sort of shoot the arrow, your main passion is, or the desire, the determination is that it should hit the bullseye. So in an interview, what is your bullseye? More holistically, getting the job, right? Getting selected. But I feel every question could be an arrow. The answer to the question. When you get that question, how effectively, and more importantly, friends, like an archer, how earnestly, how determined are you to respond to that question? I say this for a reason, friends. There are some questions which are tough. There are some questions which you know you can answer, like an exam. Those questions which you are not wanting to answer, but it comes, be more passionate about it. Agar easy question aata hai, to you are like excited, I'm excited. But if a question comes which you're not comfortable, maybe you need to think and answer. That's the time I feel our passions to really put across our thoughts in the most effective manner should be high, the passion. So the passion for winning at interviews is what I have written as the first takeaway from the attitude to be passionate. Second, I have mentioned, as somebody said, is, if you can see, I think people can see, right? Is focused and fearless. Again, you may be saying, Mayur, I know this. That's exactly why the session is happening. Interviews, everybody knows, but sometimes it's good to refresh. So how focused am I? Now, I'll tell you why this happens. I have had an experience in the sense I had a friend who attended a telephonic interview. As he was sitting for the interview, and this is not a fiction, it's a fact, he had a COVID case in the room beside. I'm not joking. It's happening right now. It's spreading, all right? Especially people from India, we know, Pune, Maharashtra. So this happened recently. He was not able to focus on the interview because he was stressed out. He was feeling, because there is a patient, his relative. So he was telling me afterwards that, Mayur, tell me how I can, yeah, because I was not happy with the interview because my mind was more focused there. Maybe that person needs something, though his wife was there to help out. So I learned that just as an archer needs the right focus and concentration, when you are in the interview, the focus, the concentration, the viewpoint should be towards the question that's asked. That's how I'm responding to the archer's focus. And what is fearlessness? Let me just elaborate a little bit on this. The fear of failing not just the interview. Sometimes we may not be able to answer a particular question. Like I said earlier, sometimes that hangover is there that I wasn't able to really communicate effectively. So my humble request to all of us is, though it sounds cliche, it is be focused and be fearless. Focused as in, as much as possible, be concentrating on the answer that you're giving. Sometimes it happens in interviews. The interviewers are discussing among themselves. Our mind is somewhere else. I hope it's working out. After this, what do I do? Because our mind keeps, it can invite a lot of thoughts. So when even your interviewers probably are discussing something, or maybe there's a little bit of a gap, your focus should be on what next. Am I clear about my preparation? So it's all, within that same sort of circle of preparation. So focus, and fearlessness is about being courageous, being confident. Now, in this, just a couple of things. When I say be confident, be courageous, preparation helps you a lot. But even then, sometimes there are instances where, despite the preparation, despite the mock practice, you see somebody for the first time in the interview. And today we are talking about virtual interviews. Today, we are not in the interview room in the office. Your own home is the interview room. So things are different already. To that, add a person who's new. In that, what I request humbly to all of you to do is enhance and re-strengthen your confidence level by depleting or decreasing nervousness and fear. And how do you do that? Like what I did before this session, frankly speaking, deep breathing. I call it oxygenation. Inhale, hold, exhale. Very simple, but very, very effective. Our guru also talks a lot about this. People who have attended, pravachans and ashirvachans, we know how effective breathing is. But here, as I sit with you, I simply say 4 seconds, 8 seconds, 6 seconds. If you can do 4 seconds of inhalation, that is taking a breath in, holding your breath for 8 seconds, and when you release your breath through your nose, counting 6 seconds. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Release. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Even when I'm trying to show this to you, I'm getting inside it. I'm enjoying it. Now you would ask what happens, why? I would say the oxygen actually makes you calmer. It relaxes you. Now, do you do this when the interviewers are in front of you? Well, they'll go in for a bit of a surprise, right? Excuse me, sir. Obviously, no. So this is something that you can do before the interview so that you can maintain your confidence. Sometimes the person who's very confident, the tiger outside the cabin or before the interview, suddenly when he sees the people, happens. The roar changes sometimes. And it's not about, oh God, what did I do? Why did I become the goat? Only Messi is the goat. Lionel Messi, I know somebody like, whoa, ye kya ho gaya? Goat kidhar se aa gaya? Goat is greatest of all times, by the way. And Lionel Messi is my goat. But that's a different topic for a different session with some of you. Here I'm talking about how we should maintain our confidence. And that comes when before the interview starts, 3 times do the 4-8-6. See how it comes across. If you feel calm, if you feel relaxed, that's exactly the objective. Because when you're nervous, there's a helter-skelter of thoughts. And when the interview starts, sometimes there's a problem of plenty. So many things you're prepared with, you don't know how to start. Now, am I saying this to you particularly? No, yeah. Happens sometimes. It's happening with me as I'm speaking to you as well. That's why ye sab hai. Fortunately, I'm not in that interview, but I'm just sharing that nervousness can slowly sneak inside. So breathing is one. The other thing I want to talk about is vibrations. And I have brought something from Kailash Mansarovar, which represent vibrations. I always bring this in my sessions, and I want to bring it here as well. When you want to feel positive, create good vibrations. For example, when you, I'll play this later as an example of vibrations, but what you can do is, of course, not in front of the interviewer, every day if you can, inhale, and as you exhale, keep your mouth closed and just hum like this. You'll feel vibrations as you do it. You can also do this. You can cover your ears from the outside. The effect of the vibration will be much higher, like this. Or this. And then. And do this at least 7 times. And this I want to say very particularly, do it 3 times a week. You know, we don't want to suddenly start pumping iron before a show, no? Bodybuilding show. Aise hota hai kya? I got a show tomorrow, bodybuilding, let's start. No, it has to, you have to start developing this feeling of calmness. Why? Unexpected question. Suddenly that person says to you, no, I don't agree with your point, Mr. Kalbag. I think you need to, sir, no. Yes, sir. Tell me, can I please know what is your disagreement, sir, please? That calmness to, you know, to maintain your confidence and then position your answer again. It happens if you practice a combination of breathing, 4-8-6 every day. Okay, now another thing. If you're in the interview, can you do this deep breathing? You can, but not the 4-8-6. While the interviewer is asking you a question, what are you doing? Now don't close your eyes there and all. Just deep breathe. That fullness should be there. Hold for 2 seconds. Nobody will catch you. Pakada. Deep breathing kar rahe ho tum. Nobody will do that. They are busy trying to construct the questions. They are struggling to construct the questions. Especially if you're doing, could you please elaborate? They'll take more time. So do a deep breath. It will help you. I swear to God, it will help you. It's helped me. Because forgetfulness happens due to nervousness, isn't it? Exam yaad hai, exam. What would the teacher say? Drink some water, do some deep breathing, then open your question paper. Here, similarly, no? Because this is also an exam in some sorts. But what I want to show you in terms of the vibration which I felt at Kailash, Manasarovar, which changed my life, thanks to my guru with whom I went, is this vibration. And I got this in Nepal. It's called a Tibetan Bell. And I'm going to play this to you only as an example. It's not like, Mayur, do we have to use this for every pre-interview practice? I'm not sure you can, but let me play this. Rajimam, I'm going to play this, okay? Yeah. It goes like this. I don't know how the audio is coming through, but I think you can hear it, na, Rajimam? Okay. This is a vibration which we hear in temples, isn't it? Even if you go to any place of worship, if you know what I'm saying, there's always that, even in a cathedral, you know, the vibration. When we go to a temple, when we hear this vibration, please correct me if I'm wrong. Don't we feel a little calm? And that's exactly my point of view. That sometimes we can't use a bell here. We can use a vibration of or or These are variations of Om. I'm putting this as a secondary part because I'm talking to a group of people. I had a participant who said, I'm not very comfortable with Om. So I said, why don't you say this sentence, please? So I said, just say, I don't want to go. So he said, okay, I don't want to go. Then I said, just follow me. And I took a deep breath and I said, home. So he said, I don't want to go home. And in the process, he said, Om. My point is, look at the spirit of it. Vibrations are very, very strong. In fact, this is one way, right? What made me pick this up is this. Please watch. Could you feel this vibration? So in a metaphoric way, when you communicate in an interview without hitting too much, without being too aggressive, but just by your politeness, your assertiveness, your intonations, your punching, if you can, with good body language, if you can communicate your thoughts after your preparation and practice, I think the vibration will be very strong. Remember, friends, this session is not about, it's not a magic show, right? It's not about after this session, I will get a job. It's about the impact I talked about. And such vibrations do create the impact. I think I saw Simrita's hand going up. You wanted to share something, Simrita? No? Okay, I just saw yellow hand. I wanted to also talk about this very quickly, sharpening skills constantly. How do you sharpen your skills? Please remember, like Mr. Prabhu Shirur said to me, I always keep practicing. Mayur, it's not about just the before interview practice. Keep sharpening your skills. Which skills? Communication skills, presentation skills, sharpen your knowledge skills. And here I want to also talk about something more in skills. It's not just the skills like the skills. It's about how much are you aware of what's happening around the world. If you're attempting an interview which is related to, say, psychology, attitude, HR, how aware are you of the global HR aspects that are happening? New surveys, new ways of, ways of understanding people. If it's accounting, for example, are you aware of the global magnitude of how accounting is happening, the new ways, software, so dynamic? Are you aware? So sharpening is not just the skills, it's sharpening your knowledge is what I also wanted to elaborate. I hope you're getting where I'm coming from. Sometimes we unknowingly stagnate. This is what I know. But I think broadening the horizon of knowledge can also help us to increase confidence. So that's what I wanted to talk about. And this I've already spoken, controlling. Now, controlling emotions of anxiety, of nervousness is okay. Sometimes I've seen candidates who are overexcited. So controlling overexcitement, controlling enthusiasm that is a little too much. Sometimes our confidence level is so high, we come across as overconfident. Therefore, control your emotions overall and expressions. What expressions? I've always felt this for myself and I'm trying my best. Polite yet firm. Avoid being loud. Be audible. Are you getting my point? Sometimes a candidate speaks in such a way that the interviewer says, could you please speak a little louder? Yes, sir, I will. I'm sorry, sir. Yes, sir. So, sir, I can talk. I can walk. No, Baba, aram se. Yeah, you don't have to shout. Just be audible. So control the audibility. Audibility also is a great carrier of self-confidence. Not too soft, not too loud. Audible. Again, all this comes with mock practice. To any one of us, if you feel this is something that can help you in the future, please go ahead and absorb it for yourself. If you feel, Mayur, I know this, thanks dude, really interesting, share it with the others because they may need it more, all right? So these are a few things I wanted to share. I hope you're making a few notes of it. I wanted to conclude if I can, and then we can have question answers very quickly. I made a few other inputs that you can think of, and I'm going to go very quickly, all right, very quickly, because you're extracting by your facial expressions very nicely. I'm looking at screen number 2 and screen number 3, and everybody's watching me, but I can't see them because they think that I'm only watching screen number 1, which I was. So let me just take you through very quickly. Aditya, everyone. Tejas, nice to meet you. Tanmay, namaskar. Ravindraji, yeah. Girish Mugwe, namaskar. Nice to meet you. Shashin, you're still there. I love you very much. And Samrita, all of you. Let me just, that's a break for me, by the way. I'm buying time. What do you say? Sanjay, how much ever you went somewhere else and came back, I didn't realize it because you were passionately like an archer here with us. Some of the tips and tricks. Now, I already said, I'm just going through this as a concluding part, right? And I'll then conclude it with your questions later. How to say, I don't know. Never say, I don't know. Could you elaborate, right? I won't go too deep into that. I've already spoken about it. Art of buying time. I've, I think, spoken about it. How to disagree positively. Remember, I'm sort of going more specific. I did talk about it. Is always say, I understand your point, but I have a slightly different point of view. Remember, that statement really matters a lot when you need to disagree with somebody. And this session may not be only like it's for interviews, but some of these things can help you in your general discussions with your superiors. Sometimes the toughest thing is to disagree with a boss. So you can use this to disagree without hurting that person. Effective. This is something interesting now, friends. I have not talked about this, so it's interesting to me as well. Do you know today it's virtual interview, but today is also, today as in today's times, friends, is about LinkedIn. When you send an application, don't be surprised, you're already being looked at. Your name is there straight away. LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. These are the ones I know. I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Twitter, I don't know how to handle it, but I'm on Facebook. I'm very active on Facebook and LinkedIn. Why is it important? So my crux sentence here to all of you is a question you have to ask yourself. Am I shaping up my image as a professional in the best possible manner on LinkedIn? A question you have to ask yourself. I'm also trying to do that. I'm working on it, by the way. It's not easy. Technology is difficult for some of us. I prefer to go to Shirali and enjoy myself. But LinkedIn is corporate. It is important because when I had to send something to a person in Malaysia, as recent, I'm not bragging, I'm telling you the fact. The person who was putting my name, HR person, recommending, she said, please check your LinkedIn, see if it's proper because the guy is going to check your LinkedIn first. He may not want to talk to you. He will first know whether you're good enough to be talked to. So shape up your LinkedIn. LinkedIn is today the window for people to know who you are professionally. And how do you do that? How do you shape it up? A few things that I'm doing. Make your profile very dynamic. I'm going to come to that very quickly, but make it proper. When the person sees, he should get a strong glimpse of who you are. But you should keep him hanging to know a little more, where you say, if you want to know more, I'm here. Let's have an interview. Let's have a discussion. But make that very, very impacting. What? Your CV on LinkedIn. Another thing, keep intermittently, once in a while, flowering your LinkedIn with good quotations, with good proverbs. If you can, be innovative, be creative, and share your own original philosophy. Believe you me, you may not realize it because it's not two-way, right? People will pick it up. There are some who have a following for that. Following for people who put good proverbs. They say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. But today on LinkedIn, a good proverb a day keeps both the apple and the doctor away. What I mean is, when you read something positive, it influences people. When they say, oh, Sanjay's proverbs are really interesting. Andar ho gaya, baith gaya Sanjay. Sanjay Yellormam, I'm talking about you. So proverbs, create your own. If you have something interesting, share. Also keep updating your profile. And I'm coming to that. So before I go to the profile, please remember, friends, today we are all aware of these social sites, right? We are all on platforms. But if you are connecting yourself to being successful in interviews, remember your profiles are there for everybody to see. So Facebook also is important, by the way, though it's not looked at from a professional perspective. It's social, but still. And I'll tell you one thing which happened with a person. He was chucked out of an organization because he put a comment which was controversial. And that created a furrow It created a big thing. It came in the news. I'm not getting into people, right? I'm just telling you it's happened. Why? Because when you're on the computer, when you're behind the screen, dal do kuch bhi. No, Baba. We have to be careful. Because you don't know who's looking at it. 100 people are watching, 99 are okay with it. One is not. Why? Be normal. I have been also told, Baba, aram se. And I'm following on that. Where anything that helps me to be better, I'll always follow. I hope you're clear on this. LinkedIn, shape it up. Facebook, keep maintaining that positive image if you wish to. And Twitter and Instagram are there. But I'm focusing on LinkedIn especially. All right. Now, I want to focus finally on something which gets you a call for an interview. How do you get a call for an interview? How does the interviewer know? How does the recruitment person know that he can send your CV? It's through the CV, isn't it? So in this, I want to very clearly say there are two ways of presenting your CV. I'm doing it, so I'm sharing it with you. All right. Rajimam, you can hear me? Okay, because I think I heard somebody else. There are two versions, and please listen to this because I'm sharing what I do. One is a one-pager PDF profile. Okay, now you will have to really work on it. I have worked on it. It's hard work, but it's a one-pager. This is for people who don't have the time. This is for people who just want to get a very quick glimpse of who you are. At the same time, that one pager should be able to encapsulate and take in a lot of what you do. Now, if you say, Mayur, can you tell us? Not in this session. Now we can contact, we can do later because I've done it myself. And it's not difficult, but it's a little cumbersome to encapsulate who you are, everything into one. And I think Rajimam knows when I have to share my profile, I send it a one pager. Today, with COVID, with pandemic, the jobs are less, but there are jobs. The competition is more. Today, a person from Kerala, as well as a person from Jammu and Kashmir, let alone Mumbai, Gujarat, everybody can easily send a CV to somebody in Mumbai because everything is work from home, which means competition is a lot, which also means HR people don't have the time, Baba, to go through 3 pages, 4 pages. They want to get to know who you are as quick as possible. HRs and people who are interviewing, they're very quick at it as well because they got the experience. So one is the one pager. And then you can also, and you should also have a detailed curriculum vitae or a biodata. Have both the options open. Now you have to be flexible. If there's a recruitment person who's contacting you for a job, you have to discuss. You say, I'm sending you both depending upon what the company wants. Please take it forward. But I have both of them, the versions, I'm sending it to you. Another thing. Now, this is what I'm telling you. Please, I may be wrong. On the CV, whether it's 1 page or 2 page or a detailed one, I normally like to put a photograph of myself. Because pehle wala nahi raha, only the typed notes. A photograph helps to get a little bit of an understanding of the face of the person. We don't have to be Salman Khan and Aishwarya Rai and all. So it's not like good looking and all. Oh God, I need makeup, or oh, I've got a bit. You got to be presentable. Presentable. Why? Because the CV is about you. And if you are also there on the CV a little bit, it's nice. And if you're a little handsome, it doesn't matter. Yeah? Just kidding. Just kidding. The problem is when you don't have a mirror at home, we get into all misconceptions. Achha, one more thing. Now, this is something I got from an HR person, okay, from Infosys. I was speaking to her, and I'm very honest to say that I'm also learning all these things. There is something called automated screening. Automated screening. You know what is automated screening? Is the HR doesn't screen your CV. They don't see. It gets automatically screened by a system, by a software. And if you're not in that selected, automatically selected CVs, you're out. So how do you get screened and get selected? I asked that question to the lady as well. What do you have to do? And the key word for that is keywords. So whenever you get a call for an interview, try to read what they want, right? Their requirement, and pick up the keywords. And please insert them intelligently in your CV because the automated software picks up the keywords. And why not? Imagine there are 1,000 CVs. How is it possible for everybody, the HR to keep looking? So the automated screening will pick up maybe out of the 1,000, maybe say 600, because it's picked up and identified the keywords. And then you'll be called, and that's when the interview starts. A few final words. Please keep conducting mock interviews. If you really want to sharpen your skills, your confidence comes with preparation. So mock interviews. If you have a brother, if you have a sister, if you have a lovely wife who has patience, get her to, or a husband or a person, get that person to interview. Say, these are the questions, ask. Now you may say, Mayur, you only said one question. I need more. Google Guru is there. I'm not going to invest my time in telling you the questions, they're there. But how to prepare for it, I've talked about it. I know this sounds a little cliched, but I'm honestly believing in this. Make failure an opportunity, please, to learn something, so that the next time you go for the interview, you're better prepared. Because failures demotivate. And I do get demotivated. But if I let it go on and on, it affects me. For some time, it's okay. Then learn. Where did I fail? Why did I fail? Can I improve on something? Okay, these are the points. Maybe I was not very clear in my tone, in my speech. Okay, I need to work on that. That will help us to be better in the next opportunity for an interview. Okay. Have a mentor. Have a mentor. Arey bhai, what has mentoring got to do with interviewing, Baba? Well, a mentor is somebody who will always be there to help you out, because we are not egoistic people that I am. No, have somebody. Like, look up to somebody. There are two types of mentors: a passive mentor and active mentor. Active is somebody you're in touch with. Hey, sir, I want to talk to you. I have an active mentor. I have two. One is normal human mentor. The other is super mentor. I think some of you know whom I'm talking about. My active, the normal mentor at human level is Vineet Bhatnagar. I call him. If I need to learn something, he's somebody who's knowledgeable, and I get something. So you can also have somebody you can ask, seek guidance from. There's nothing wrong. And there are things like passive. For example, watching a YouTube video on how to be better at interviews, where you don't know the person, but you're learning something. That's a passive one, where you don't know, right? For me, Vineet Bhatnagar is my sort of a mentor. Active. Passive is I do watch videos and learn. But my super mentor is my Guru Swami Sadyojat Shankarashram, because it also started with an interview with the Guru. And all of you know that the word interview is very, very, very effective. Right, Rajiv Ma'am, all of us, interview apelya. And then our motivations, our excitement are at different levels. So that's what I wanted to share with respect to IM is ho gaya, PACT. PAC is final left. I'm talking about one word which, and then I'll conclude. I'm running out of time, I think, but please allow me. I'm just overexcited. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Connectivity. Please connect. Connect to who? Connect to yourself. How? Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. Do your SWOT analysis. Now, some of you would know this. Please, at the risk of sounding repetitive to some of you, for the people who are new to this, know yourself. Connect with yourself and understand that you have the strength. You have certain areas of improvement, work on it. They're called in one word weaknesses. Although I like to use the word AOI, area of improvement. Connect with yourself to get strengthened further by working on your areas of improvement. Opportunities. Connect with yourself and think about where else can you look at for your jobs or for future. Goal setting, short term, medium term, long term. Where do you see yourself? When you connect with yourself, you will be able to clarify your goals. Remember, when you enter an interview room without a goal, bapre, problem. It's like playing football without a goal post. So we need to connect with ourselves so that it helps us to know who we are. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and possible threats or barriers like nervousness, external barriers, a Kadush interviewer, etc., etc. Let's connect. I'm not talking about connecting with the world. That we are all good at. Facebook, Instagram, all that is there. And finally, I want to say that along with connect is tenacity. Tenacity is another word I'll tell you is perseverance. Perseverance. Please, please, please. I'm telling this to myself. many times I have lost interviews for getting a training job, if you know what I'm saying. Jobs are of different kinds, right? So I was called for an interview. I drove all the way to Mumbai. It didn't work out. It worked out the next time. The company is there in the list, Crompton Greaves. The first time it didn't work out. I had to really understand where I've gone wrong. My presentation may not have been good. Tenacity is to be, even if you're stretched, even if you're tested, even if you fail, you still don't break like a rubber band. You hold yourself together. So even after this session is over, friends, in case, God forbid, the interview doesn't happen. Like today, as I'm speaking to you, there are 2-3 things waiting to happen. And please pray that it does. But if it doesn't, I won't let it hurt me. I won't let it, disappoint me so much that I'm not able to perform or conduct myself effectively the next time. That is tenacity, to hold. For some of us who have a guru, it's easy because we get the strength. That's why I said mentor helps a lot. Friends, PACT, that was our pact. That will allow me to introduce to you and share with you the pact. And along with it, within the pact, the PACT, a few points that you allowed me to share. I'm very happy because we started at around 6:20 and it's 7:36. So not bad, Rajiv Ma'am. I normally like to make it as concise and swift. I also was able to show the bell. I wanted to also have, show this, which is sharpening the skills. Abhi time hai 5 minutes. Because if this is blunt, there is no, kya dami nahi hai. Dikhne mein acha hai, but no, it's not sharp. So keep sharpening. And I wanted to show this. This is a catapult. I've not put the rubber band, but it's about how we can be creative. At the same time, sometimes we need to pull something back to be able to propel ourselves to success. Sab prepare kiya tha Rajiv ma'am, isliye abhi bata raha hu. I want to thank you all for, there are 79 people. Some of you had to leave, but they put in some inspiring messages for me. I had to share what I had to share. Remember, this is a subject which is very wide and deep. If it was a real time, it could be a wonderful one-day session with interactivity, literally a two-way one, right? But we've tried to make the best. I hope I've given my best. It's up to you to decide. But from this session, if you have, when you look at your notes or go in your mind and think, have I picked up at least 4 or 5 points which can help me in my next interview? Or which I can help somebody else to help himself or herself in his or her interview? And if the answer is yes, then I can actually go and have a nice chilled glass of water. I hope you understand what I'm saying. I'll feel relaxed because the whole point of this session was to add value to already something that you know. So to all of you, I want to say thank you very much. There's nothing else I want to add. I want to keep it open now. If you can share your thoughts or your questions, or you want to share your own affirmations about some things that I've said, you want to add value something by sharing something, feel free here. Chill. We still have a little bit of time because it's 1.5 hours. We still have another 15 minutes and we can still go on. But maybe I can conclude from my side, Rajiv Ma'am, by singing a song.
That would be very
Can
nice.
I sing a song?
Of course you can.
Because this is one interview process where I can take the liberty of singing a song. All right, it goes like this. It's called Bachelor Boy.
Yeah.
And I dedicate this to all the bachelors. Cliff Richards.
Yeah.
I dedicate this to all the bachelors and the married ones. It goes like this. Just a few lines. Can you just turn your mic into mute so that the sounds are coming in, if you can. Yeah, thank you so much. When I was young, my father said, "Son, I have something to say." And what he told me, I'll never forget until my dying day. He said, "Son, you are a bachelor boy, and that's the way you'll stay. Son, you'll be a bachelor boy until your dying day. When I was 16, I fell in love with a girl as sweet as could be. But then I remembered just in time what Daddy had said to me. He said, son, you are a bachelor boy, and that's the way you stay. Son, you'll be a bachelor boy until your dying day. As time goes by, I probably will meet a girl and fall in love. And then I'll get married, have a wife and a child, and they'll be my turtle dove. But until then, I'll be a bachelor boy, and that's the way I'll stay. Happy to be a bachelor boy until my dying day. Yeah, I'll be a bachelor boy until my dying day. Happy to be a bachelor boy until my dying day. Thank you so much. Masti, bhai, masti.
Very
Enjoy.
nice, Mayur. Very nice.
Awesome.
I'm a housewife.
That's what I call.
wanted to see your. I wanted
Thank
to
you. Thank you.
see your video. And
You know,
learn
I've
about
heard.
Why don't have
Yes.
to go for interviews.
Sure, no worries. You know,
Very
they say.
Nice.
Yes. Thanks. You know, they say that it's better to be sincere than serious. So I wanted it to be sincere, but no need to be serious here. You know, our guru always says must. Tension mention a must. Must as in there will be. You know, life is full of ups and downs. But if you're down, then problem. What happened? That kind of stuff. Then kadus. So best is to chill and learn and practice. And I love you all. I feel good. I was a little nervous. I did all my breathing techniques. I did the bell and all that. Because, you know, when there is no interaction two ways, because I'm so much into this real time, stuff we do is fun, yeah. Literally make them do bow and arrow action. तो ये आपने मुझे संभाल लिया तो मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा. I am touched. Raji ma'am, the floor is yours. I would like to thank everyone.
Yeah, I think the floor I'll hand over to the participants.
Yes.
Share their views, and if they have any questions, they can ask that. But I think most of them just want to compliment you for an really stunningly wonderful session.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Sunil ma'am, nice to see you.
Yeah.
By the way.
Bachelor Boy was wonderful to hear after so many years. I used to love that. Thank you.
Well, thanks. I hope you enjoy the session as well.
Very much. Thank you.
Yeah, great. Please feel free
Yeah,
to share.
Mayur.
Feel free. Yes, please.
Hey Mayur, this is Sachin. So
Hey, hi, yes,
I just
Sachin.
I just put a comment that I have extracted so much milk. I'm going to make dudh and cha.
He's extracted so much milk that he's going to make tea out of milk now. Thanks, Sachin. And it was a pleasure having you in the session. Gautam, nice to have you. Anything you want to add, ask, share? Sanjay? Gautam,
it was very enlightening, and you explained it very well, and it kept me on my seat, even though I've not had my breakfast for a while. So, but I thought I should just go through this whole session.
Thank you so much.
On this point of tenacity, which you just mentioned, and perseverance and all that, I just read a book called Rejection Proof. Rejection Proof by Jia Jiang. It's a very, very I'm not a book reader, but someone suggested that book and I started reading it, and I found it's a very funny book, and he's got YouTube videos also. And once you read it, it kind of takes the emotion out of the rejection, and you feel that, okay, if a person has rejected you, it is not because of you, but because of the request or the situation. But I would suggest, since you mentioned tenacity, if you can read the book called Rejection Proof, it'll probably help a lot.
Definitely. Thanks, Gautam, for that input. Yeah, thank you so much. Just feel free if you feel like, even if you want to constructively criticize, please do that with a smile, so that I don't have to breathe too deep. But I'll definitely absorb points. Yes, Sanjay, please, Sanjay Matre.
Yeah, I loved your zest and very animated, a lot of gusto, a lot of conviction, a lot of passion, and absolutely ecstatic. And all those props actually make a lot of difference.
Thank you.
I would love to ask, who's the painting the painting behind you? I'm an artist and I'm a bachelor boy. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. These are some of the paintings I do.
You are an artist too.
Yes.
Okay.
My brain functioning was affected. I'm not joking. I'm serious, Sanjay. My brain functioning was affected tremendously. It's not in my control. After I went to Kailash Mansarovar with my guru.
Oh, amazing.
It has. It's opened up some things which I can't explain. And I'm not trying to be bragging. I'm telling you factually, because you get to do meditation, or if you're doing a japa at that place. And if I were to tell you that at that place, when you go, you feel like you are not on earth. I'm not exaggerating, except for gravity.
Right.
Have you seen the movie I Am Legend?
Yes.
Will Smith. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. You see what happens when he goes. It's a negative part where he's just alone, right? Everywhere alone, 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 alone. That's exactly how you feel when you're there, but it's spiritually alone. It's different, and then it affects you. It affects you in a way. So I started doing all kidas here. Andar ke kide jagrut ho gaye. Session is over, so I'm being all kida vida. Chalega na.
I've been into Vipassana meditation.
Yes.
On the longer courses, so I understand.
Sure.
I've been to Himalaya, so yeah.
Great. Thanks, Sanjay, for that, and thank you for understanding the spirit behind my actions of bringing the props, because what else can I do really here? I can't talk all the time. I get bored of my own talk. मैं खुद ही सो जाता हूँ यार. The best is to bring something which excites me as well, isn't it? So thanks for understanding the spirit behind those actions.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. Lalita Pachi, you want to say something?
I would love to know a little about your spiritual journey also.
I have put my number. You can add me on WhatsApp. All of you, please add me on WhatsApp and send me all your love and affection, because I need it.
Sure. Thanks.
Hey, Mayur, it was really amazing session. First of all, it was very, very interesting. And the way you explained, you gave the points, you explained each and everything so perfectly. I was really thrilled.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for everything that you have really explained it well. I mean,
thank you so much.
The way you have put in forward has really helped.
I only try to do one thing, Lalita Pachi, is I try to tell you things which I have understood. I may not have attended 100 interviews like the typical interview. Like Rajima very rightly said, there are multiple types of interviews here. For me, 20 years, getting a job for a training is an interview, isn't it? Because I've been interviewed. Ki Baba, should we take Mayur for a training or not? So imagine 20 years, every time it's a test. So that's what has come out. And I'm happy that you've understood. I always feel, if people can understand why this is done, and a few things, that nuances that come out of it, even the singing of a song, it's a metaphor. It's a metaphor for enjoy. At the end of the day, it's not like baapre bahut session bada hai, masti karo yaar. You picked up, like Shashin said, I've got enough milk, but then I can also have a dance and a song. Milk to aa gaya na. So that's what happened. So thanks for recognizing that as well. In fact, before somebody else shares, I want to make a small little announcement to all of you, which I'm very excited, and Rajima, allow me to do that. With the blessings of our Guru, I have become part of a team along with another Amchi friend of mine, who is a very successful banking employee working in Hong Kong. And some of you people in Bali know him. I and that person have partnered together and created a team, I wouldn't say a company, it's an initiative called Talk Right Today. TALKWRITE today, and it focuses on self-excellence, on all the topics connected to our own excellence. We have already recorded 30 videos and have done 3 projects, training projects. One we did in the lockdown on some 3-4 months ago for General Mills, and we trained 150 people, and we are in touch with a client in the United States to also do, because he's in Hong Kong, I'm here, and one of the advantages is online. So somebody in US is interested, and with your blessings, I want to announce the Talk Right Today as an entity here, and it will be launched with a promo video on Gudi Padwa Day. So please connect with me through WhatsApp. My number is there. I'm a very nice person, because it is said that it is nice to be important, but it is more important to be nice. And with our Guru's blessings, the only thing what we need to do is nice. Yeah. Rude to hum log sab ban sakte hai. It is more challenging to be nice and humble. And you have all been that way to me. You all been very respectful to me. Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Very
Thank
proud
you.
of you, Mayur.
Thank you, Pachi.
So all the best for the future also.
Thank you, Pachi. And nice to have you in the session. Brings back memories of Karnataka Society and bhajans and Bal Vikas and all.
I've seen you since your childhood, so I was very keen to attend your this thing. Though I'm not working, I've been a housewife all through, but I wanted to
your interviewing skills are as good or better when the maids and when you interview the husbands. Oh, sub interview that's the most difficult part. When I get interviewed at home, Bapre, I use all these skills: vibration, smile. Yes, Gautam.
Mayur, whenever you're visiting New York or US, stay with us.
Yes, definitely. Please connect with me, Gautam, on my through my mobile phone. It's already there. I put my number. And so nice of you to have not only come in and join the session from beyond India, but even encourage your daughter, Navika Nagarmat, to also join in. Though she had to leave a little early, I saw, but she was completely entrenched in the session. So thank you. It means a lot. Shashin, thank you from my heart. Deepa, my cousin from US, I don't know which state. I get confused with states there. Some part of US, which is supposed to be very nice state. So Deepa Gokan, thanks for being there. She put a timer and all. She woke up for the session. So sweet of you. And to everybody, I love you so much. Just be in touch with me. And
Hi,
so,
Mayur.
Hi. Who's that?
Hi, this is Another Gautam from Mumbai.
Hi, Gautam. Can I know your surname? Nadkarni. Okay.
Yeah,
Hi, Gautam.
Gautam Nadkarni. Yeah. So it was a very nice presentation, and I think I relived 34 years of my career. I could see those points which you nicely put up, what I faced through the interviews and what I used to hear or what I used to guide some of the juniors. Very nice. I hope all the youngsters today, not even youngsters, people like me also, take these points, and it's like learning, unlearning, and learning again.
Absolutely. You know, Gautam, can I just add one thing? I know that time is flowing, but you know, I can see your excitement. Just one thing I want to share. I took an effort personally, and I'm not bragging, don't misunderstand. I took an effort to call up some people in Honnavar, in Mangalore, in Shirali, in Goa. I messaged, WhatsApped, and I requested them humbly to please share the post about this session, because Amgal, you know, we are all spread out here. And like you said, this session for me was also a lot for the youngsters there who are very intelligent, who have studied so, you know, with sincerity. They can really make the best of this session. And I'm sure many of them would have connected, you know. So thanks, Gautam, for sharing your thoughts as well. It means a lot to me.
So wishing you success in every aspects of your life. Keep it up.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Love you. And do connect with me on WhatsApp. Yeah.
Absolutely. Surely.
Right.
Mayur?
Yes.
Sunil. Hi, Mayur.
Hi, Sunil Bab.
तुगल हांगकांग से खबर ऐकून संतोष जाल म्हाका. Is it Santosh Shirur who is going to be?
Oh, I didn't mention it. It's
म्हणून हांव संतोष जालो म्हणून.
Acha. I have tied up with Santosh Shirur. My God, what a crazy guy I am here. I talk about the entire initiative. I don't mention the guy, and Santosh is there somewhere wondering, "Kallak mash, kallak." So I play.
It's okay.
So I play. So Santosh, I play with the word. I was trying to create a sense of anticipation.
Very well. But anyway,
Santosh, Sunil Mam, let's say this. Santosh Shirur is the person.
I know. म्हाका संतोष जालो ऐकून म्हणून. Anyway, तुगल 3-4 messages which have touched my heart and got tears to it. One is about your emphasizing pitch, pause, and punch. How much that tugal hadichi, some sort of acronyms, 3 P's.
Yes.
Emphasis is nothing but punch.
Yes.
Anek tugal sangil about the finger.
Yes.
Never use this pointer horizontally. It will hurt somebody. Try to use it vertically.
Yes.
That was a beautiful thing. Another thing was about your plan, prepare, practice, present, and last like post-mortem to gomtakan sangla to word vaparne, but you said that areas of improvements.
Yes.
That was a good thing. I mean, normally man taka post-mortem ka makala change kare.
To gotas na Sunil Mam, to ugura saskina. For all of you listening to me, Sunil, Raji Mam, especially for you, Ranjan, everybody, Mam. When I started off, when I wanted to become a trainer, once I was back from Kailash, Mansarovar, Sunil Mam was standing in Karnataka Society down. I went and met him, and I took some tips from him. I don't know if he remembers, but I remember. Sunil is one of the best trainers that I've come across in his heydays.
Tips mono, that acronym was to ensure prompt service, which you have given.
Thank you. Thanks, Sunil. Thanks, Sunil.
Very good. All the best to you. And I think your new sort of endeavor will definitely help.
Yes. On Gudi Padwa, we are launching it. So please,
congrats on the new venture.
Thank you.
Hi,
It's called Talk Right Today. TTT.
आणि तुगेल आज introduction आहे right person केल्या मला
Brilliant.
Mayur, can you hear me? Hi, Mayur.
Yes. Yeah. Hi, Karthik.
Mayur, congrats on the new venture. It's like another feather in your cap for Mayur and Santosh here. Congratulations so much. And I was just session missed, but I just managed to catch up with this session. It's very nice session, man. Correct.
Thank you so much, Karthik. Always a pleasure to have you. I know you had something else to do, I remember, but you still made it. Thank you.
Are you that painting behind done by you?
Yeah, that's mine. Yes, that was actually as a backdrop, not to show off.
Beautiful. We would like to see it.
That's the one. Yeah. Actually, that's makshidi kan fridge. So the fridge cover karuk painting the one.
Where are you?
I'm typically normally 8 months in a year I'm on Earth. So at the moment I'm in Pune.
Okay. I thought you were in Shirali.
I wish. That'll happen soon. Virtual is possible, eh? Right. I'm done. Girish ma'am.
It was a great session. I thoroughly enjoyed. Earlier I could miss some of your sessions also.
Okay.
I wanted to make it this time.
Thank you. Thanks. Girish, it's just I'm happy that you made the time and attended. Yeah, so sweet of you. Really speaking. Acha laga.
I'll be connected with you on.
Thank you so much. I'm just but I'm just touched. I'm touched. I can't create the tears because it's more of the happiness that, and I'm 20 years in training, so I can understand when it comes from the heart now. Yeah, so it's coming from the heart. So sweet of you. And I've got so many messages coming out, Rajiv ma'am, so many messages. At one point, there were some 85 at the 23s. Nice. Thanks. And very sweet of all of you. If you're going to wait more, then I might just bore you with another thing. But Rajiv ma'am, I think everybody shared. Sujata Pachi, hope you enjoyed the session as well because the mic is on.
Lovely.
Great. Suresh Kilpadi ma'am, thank you for showing your thumb and wishing me well. Sunil Murdeshwar ma'am, thank you. Thanks. And I think I'm done. I'm happy. I'm excited. I think I deserve some cold water a little later.
आणि कोणाक एकले share करचस्वे सांगचस्वे.
Mayur, it was a fantastic, and it was after many years I have seen you, and it was a very enjoyable and learned a lot from your session.
Really, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm just putting my number. And hey, just if you don't mind, I think Samir did mention about my book. It's there on Amazon. It's called Adventures of Purna. So explore it. I'm not here to tell you to go and get it, but explore it. It's about something against the backdrop of my trip to Kailash Mansarovar as well. You'll enjoy it. Just read the reviews. You'll love it. Right.
Hello, guys, don't explore it. Please buy it. It's from a fan. So.
Shashin has picked up the book. He's also given a review. Yes. Shashin is one of the first people to pick up the book. Yes. Thanks, Shashin.
Hello, Shashin. Hello, Santosh. Bye-bye. And
hey.
All the best.
Thank you, Sunil ma'am. Yeah. Thank you, Sunil. Love you. Bye.
Put the name of the book and your number in the chat itself.
Yes, I'll do that. I'm just putting it. It's I put my number already.
हा बंद करून वाचून दाखवतो ग्राफ. ना बंद.
Okay. Anil Bezur ma'am is there, so want to say thank you to Anil ma'am. Raji ma'am, these are all people who've seen me as a kid in Kanara house. Some of them have seen me even before I was born, I guess. When I was inside Hitler. So it's very interesting to see them join in. And it's nice to see Santosh Sirur as well. So sweet of you, Santosh. I didn't see you in the session, but now I'm seeing you. So in the session as in video. But so we are launching on Gudi Padwa Day, Santosh, and we all have got the best wishes as well. Do you want to say something, Santosh, about the session? Like, Not
at all. It was extremely exciting, informative, definitely, no doubts. And we know you right. So I'm sure our Talk Right Today sessions will go a long way, and we'll have an amazing audience. So they can
Yes.
always start watching us on the YouTubes. Yeah.
Yes, we already have 30 videos. We're just waiting for the launch. And Santosh, by the way, is a radio jockey. Apart from being a top international banker, he's a successful radio jockey. So, anyone else, feel free. And I'm done. I'm sort of chilled out. So.
Okay. So first of all, Mayur and Santosh, I'm so happy to hear that you all have teamed up. I have had the good fortune of witnessing some of the interviews that Santosh did, and I really admire his felicity and the naturalness with which he does it. And you bring all the energy to whatever you do. So it makes for a great team. I'm sure you will do very well. Congratulations and all the very best.
Thank you so much, Rajiv Ma'am.
Thank you so
much.
Need
Your blessings.
I think there is someone who has the mic on and it's kind of disturbing the others. Can you all please identify yourself? If your mic is on, can you all put it on off, please? Thank you. Somebody's done that already. Thanks a lot. Okay. So Mayur, I am really at a loss for words. Okay. And I say this from my heart. I've learned a lot today, and whatever I've already known was picked up over so many years of, and the insights that I drew took me many years. I just wish that, I had the opportunity of attending something like this, a younger self. It would have saved me a lot of, struggle on my own. But yes, whatever I knew also, you brought to this, presented it with such impactfulness, such energy that it will remain in my mind for, and I certainly hope that I'll be able to implement it much better than I've been doing it all these years. So thanks a lot. It's been a wonderful event, and a lot of people, every participant has already voiced that, and I am adding my opinion to that. So Mayur, thank you for this wonderful, wonderful session. Very impactful, and like you said, and I also felt, interviews is not just about jobs. It is something that you bring to your life every day, whatever you're doing. You need to present yourself, whatever you're doing, in an impactful manner. And what you have shared with us today will go a long, long way in making us more effective at doing that.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm very happy, Rajiv Ma'am, against the backdrop. I'm really happy. And I think, I hope, Rajiv Ma'am, if this is understood to be an effective session, I would love to be invited to do something similar on another topic for all the youngsters and the young at hearts. And I already have a lovely team of people with me here who will again join me. And it's my seva. You know that, Rajiv Ma'am, it's my seva.
Yes.
It's not commercial, it's from my heart.
Absolutely. And I must share, of course, the audience does know this. Normally a program of this sort would really cost at least in 5 figures, and Samir has been Mayur has been kind enough to do it for us as a seva. We deeply appreciate that. And yes, I was also about to ask the audience suggestions on what they think what could be the next topic for Mayur to handle. And if you all want to think and send in your suggestions, I would request you all to do that on the KSA number. And I'm going to share the KSA number right now. You all could make a note of that and send in your suggestions for what we should be doing next, right? So the KSA number is 88795 57536. I repeat, it is 88795 57536. This is a WhatsApp number. Please do not call because nobody will pick the call. And whenever you send a message, I would request you all to identify yourself so that you can be saved on the phone under your own name.
Okay.
Yes, I look forward to suggestions. And Mayur has already generously offered to do more events, and that would really be very helpful to all of us, not just the youngsters. And
I have just pasted the number also, Rajiv Ma'am.
Yes. Okay, great. That's great.
Yeah.
And also, as most of you all might know by now, all these events are recorded and then, are available not just on the KSA YouTube channel, but also on the website. So if there are people who you feel should have been attending this, and I'm sure all of us can think of such names, do share with them this information and request them that it would be time really well invested by watching this event online at their convenience.
Sure.
Once again, Mayur, and I'm also thankful to the KSA committee for, all the encouragement they give us to conduct these kind of programs, the logistical support and all that, to the president, Praveen Kadle Ma'am, to the vice president, Kishore Masurkar Ma'am, and our chairman, Jairam Kamadkund Ma'am, and also to all my fellow committee members. Each one of them brings a separate set of skills, and that's why as a team we have become very effective, I feel. I mean, that's for you all to judge. And also for my fellow task force members, those who are not on the committee, but they do a humongous lot of work. I would love to take names, but I think if I forget to take a name, it would hurt. So I would just thank all of them from the bottom of my heart. They all do a lot of work silently behind the scenes to make all these events and everything that we do a success. I'm just fortunate to be the visible face in most events, but there's a lot of work that goes on at the back end and a lot of people contribute to it. So sincere thanks to all of them. Thanks also to the staff at KSA. They pitch in very silently, making sure that news of events reaches to everyone and helping out with the logistics and things like that. And again, a personal thanks to all the people that I always rely on to spread the word about events. There are so many of them. I just have to send a message to them, and they in turn make sure that it just spreads, throughout the community and everywhere. And that's why we have such large attendance. So my thanks to them also. And finally, yes, like I always do, I end the thanks with the biggest thanks to the participants, because, the people who do the workshops are very skilled and very good at their jobs. But if the participants are not there and if they do not really interact, it's no fun, right? So all of you all who have made this such an interactive session, who have expressed their joy and their admiration of what Mayur has done in this 1.5 hours, thanks from the bottom of my heart to all of you all. Yeah, right. Thank you, Gautam. And
thank you. Looking forward to the next program.
Yeah, exactly. So
Mayurs, we'll be waiting.
Yeah, spread the word in the community. Tell them how much you enjoy this event so that more people can take the benefit of future events, right?
Yeah.
So help us spread the word. That's my request.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you,
one topic which I wanted to just put out, and it's not about me or anyone, but a topic which probably is relevant in today's times is thinking out of the box, being creative, being innovative.
Mayur, it's not quite audible to me. I'm not sure about that.
Okay, you can hear me now? Can you hear me now?
A little better, a little better.
Okay, yeah. I was saying that one topic which I would love to do if given the opportunity, but more than me, the topic is very interesting and I can even do stuff is today with all this pandemic, etc. When the mind is stressed out, one topic I felt was innovative thinking, ideation, creativity, thinking out of the box, because that also excites the mind. Otherwise, the mind becomes stagnant. So how to become more creative at work from home, how to bring creativity in life. That's one. And a few tips related to, say, motivation and stress management. Because these are the things which are relevant, I feel. If I'm excited, it's only because I'm able to create something new. So just wanted to put this out, and then others are free to, later on even add if they feel some other topic. And TalkRed today also has videos on that. So Santosh, later on after Gudi Padwa, we can even share this with them.
Yeah, that's. I think that could be a wonderful topic for our next sessions, Mayur. So we'll definitely discuss this and.
Sure. Just a suggestion.
Yeah, right. So, is there anything else that anyone would like to say or put forward, or should I now conclude with Samapti Prarthana. Anyone else, anything, or do I go ahead? Do I go ahead, Mayur? Okay. Nandantu sadhaka sarve vinashyantu vidushakaha pastashnestu prasannostu guru sada sarve bhavantu sukinaha sarve santu niramayaha sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kashit dukhamapnyat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thanks everyone.
Thank you everybody. Love you all. And my number is there. Please stay in touch. Raji Mom, thank you for everything. Govidat Mom, the team, CSN team, everyone. Love you all. And I'm going to sing a few more songs. Thank you. Later outside. Gautam Mom, nice to meet you. Yellow Mom, everybody. Good night. Goodbye. I'm leaving. Bye. Stay in touch. Simrita, nice to have you in the session. Bye-bye.